Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel, Mary's Reveal. Today I am going to answer with you all questions. Does the parallels universe exist? We will answer the questions on this video, so let's get started. What lies beyond the edge of the observable universe? Is it possible that our universe is just one of many is much larger multiverse? Movie can't get all enough of exploring these questions. From superhero blockbusters like Doctor Strange in a multi-universe of madness, to indie dolling everything everywhere all at once, science fiction stories are full of creative interactions between alternate realities. And depending on which cosmologist you ask, the concept of the multiverse is more than pure fantasy or a handy storytelling device. Humanity's ideas about alternate realities are ancient and varies. In 1848, Edgar Allan Poe even wrote a prose poems in which he fancies the existence of a limitless succession of universe. But the multiverse concept really took off when modern scientific theories attempt to explain the properties of our universe predicted the existence of the other universe where events take place outside our reality. Our understanding of reality is not complete by far, says Stanford University's physicist Andre Linde. Reality exists independently of us. If they exist, those universes are separated from our unreachable and undetectable by any direct measurements, at least so far, and that makes some experts question whether the search for the multiverse can be ever truly scientific. Will scientists ever know whether our universe is only one? We break down the different theories about the possible multiverse, including other universes with their own laws and physics, and whether many versions of you could exist out there. What is a multiverse? The multiverse is a term the scientists use to describe the ideas that beyond the observable universe. Other universes may exist as well. Multiverses are predicted by several scientific theories that describe different possible scenarios from regions of space in different planets than our universe to separate bubble universes that are constantly springing into existence. The one thing all these theories have in common is that they suggest that space and time we can observe is not the only reality. Okay, but what do scientists think? Why do scientists think there could be more than one universe? We cannot explain all the features of our universe if there only one of them, the scientist journalist Tom Siegfried, whose book The Number of the Heavens, investigates how conceptions of the multiverse have evolved over millennia. What are the fundamental constants of the nature? What they are? Siegfried wonders, why is there enough time for our universe to make stars and planets? Why do stars shine and the way they do? Just the right amount of energy. All of those things are questions we don't have answer for in our physical theory. Siegfried said two possible explanations exist. First, that we need newer, better theories to explain the properties of our universe, or he says it's possible to say we're just one of many universes that are different, and we live in one of that's nice and comfortable. What are some of the more popular multiverse theories? Perhaps the most scientifically accepted ideas come from what's known as inflationary cosmology, which is ideas that in minuscule moments after the Big Bang, the universe rapidly and exponentially expanded. Cosmic inflation explains a lot of observed properties of the universe, such as its structure and the distribution of galaxies. The theories at first looked like a piece of science fiction, although a very imaginative one. Say Linde, one of the architects of cosmic inflationary theories, but it explains so many interesting features of our world that people start taking it seriously. One of the theory's predictions is that inflations could happen over and over again, perhaps infinite, creating a constellation of bubble universes. Not all of those bubbles will have the same properties as our own. There might be spaces where physics behave differently. Some of them might be similar to our universe, but they all exist beyond the realm we can directly observe. What are some other ideas? Another compelling type of multiverse is called the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, which is the theory that mathematical describe how matter behaves, proposed by physicist Hugh Everett in 1975 and 1957. The many worlds interpretations present a branching timelines or alternate realities in which our decisions play out differently, sometimes producing wildly different outcomes. Here to Everett say, look, there's actually an infinite number of parallels Earth, and when you do an experiment, that you get the probabilities. Basically, all that proves is that you live on Earth, where that was outcome of that experiment. They signed physicist James Calculus of the University of Minnesota, who has written about the say physics or not of superheroes. But on the other Earths, there is a different outcome. According to this interpretation, the version of you could be off living the many different possible lives you could have led if you made different decisions. However, the only realities that perceptible to you is the one you inhabit. So where do all those other Earths exist? They're all overlapping in the dimensions we can't access. MIT's Max Tegmark referred to this type of multiverse as a level 3 multiverse, where multiple scenarios are playing out in branching realities. In the many worlds interpretation, you still have an atomic bomb. You just don't know exactly when it's going to go off, Linda says, and maybe in some of the realities it won't. By contrast, the multiple universes predicted by some theories of cosmic inflation, what Tegmark calls a level 2 multiverse, where fundamental physics can be different across the different universes. In an inflationary multiverse, Linda says, you don't not even know if in some parts of the universe atomic bombs are even possible in principle. So if I want to meet myself, how do I get there? Can I travel between universes? Unfortunately, no. Scientists don't think it's possible to travel between universes, at least not yet. Unless a whole lot of physics we know that's pretty solidly established is wrong, you can travel to these multiverses, Siegfried says. But who knows, 1,000 years from now, I'm not saying somebody can't figure out some things that you would never have imagined. Is there any direct evidence suggesting multiverses exist? Even though certain features of universe seems to require the existence of a multiverse, nothing has been directly observed that suggests it actually exists. So far, the evidence supporting the ideas of the multiverse is purely theoretical and in some cases philosophical. Some experts argue that it may be a grand cosmic coincidence that the Big Bang forked a perfectly balanced universe that is just right for our existence. Other scientists think it is more likely that any numbers of physical universes exist that we simply inhabit the one that has the right characteristic for our survival. An infinite number of alternate little pocket universes or bubbles universes, some of which have different physics or different fundamental constants, as an attractive ideas, calculus say. That's why some people take these ideas kind of seriously, because it's helped address certain philosophical issues. He says scientists argue about whether the multiverse is even an empirically testable theory. Some would say no, given that by definition, a multiverse is independent from our own universe and impossible to access. But perhaps we just haven't figured out the right test. Will we ever know if our universe is just one of many? We might not, but multiverses are among the predictions of various theories that can test it in other ways. And if those theories passed all of their test, then maybe the multiverse hold up as well. Or perhaps some new discovery will help scientists figure out if there really is something beyond our observable universe. The universe is not constrained by that some blobs, a protoplasm on our tiny little planet can figure out or test. Safe right says we can say that it is not testable. Therefore, it can't be real, but that just means we don't know how to test it. And maybe someday we will figure out how to test it, and maybe we won't. But the universe can do whatever it wants. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.